you again at our midday meditation. As we usually do, we start the sit with welcoming anybody who might be here for the first time, either here in this space or in the Facebook or YouTube space, or in future sharing of this 18-minute sit together. We hope that you feel welcome here. My name is David Ingber. I'm the rabbi of and the founder of Romemu here in Manhattan. And this program is a program of the Romemu Yeshiva. I think it's the only egalitarian, progressive, contemplative adult learning program in the world, and so we're really proud that we get to do nothing together. We get to be together in the profound simplicity of clearing the heart and observing our minds. So welcome. Great to have Ari Wharton, as usual, behind the scenes, opening our Zoom room and closing it, and playing our song of the week. And I think that our host today it's Bachi again. So welcome back, Bachi. Wherever you are, I see some beautiful wind happening behind you.
Yes, I'm out in the shed enjoying this 60-degree November weather.
Awesome.
It's great to be here. I'm Bachi. I'm an alum of Romemu Yeshiva. Still feeling what I felt yesterday, which is just gratitude for this chance to be here, and particularly in this afternoon sun. I feel like I'm really being invited into the moment. It's really easy for me to land and arrive with these sensations. So it's good to be here.
So we are going to just begin in about a couple of minutes. As usual, I think everybody here is aware that we have so many wonderful things happening in the yeshiva, and we have many things happening in the shul, so we avail yourselves of all of those things when you get a chance. It's easy to forget, I think, in the world of obligatory religious practice for the sake of identity, for the sake of whatever it is that motivates us. It's easy to forget that ultimately we choose to do Jewish and to be Jewish in the ways that we do, and it's such an honor to be able to have and live in a generation that has access to many, many practices that were, I guess, up to this point in Jewish history, maybe not available in quite the same way they are. We are so blessed to be able to choose the various communities that we belong to and the various practices that we have at our disposal. So that's also something to be thankful for today. So thank you all for being a part of this project. A couple of things that are really powerfully happening in this coming week's Torah portion that happen every year at this time is the profound reminder that the things in our lives that are unfinished, in a way, are still present for us in the present moment, awaiting our turning towards them. And that by some profound rule of consciousness or some profound rule of the universe, the notion of a spiral or the circle that leads itself forward is really embedded in our psyches and in our collective narratives and dramas in a way that empowers us. The notion that Jacob in this week's Torah portion will have to meet his discarded brother, the one whom he dressed as and named himself as and deceived as. The fact that he'll have to meet him, and we're told by the tradition that meeting takes place at a place called face to face or faces, reminds us of this ever-present possibility of meeting the past in the present so that we might move a little bit more cleanly into the future. It's kind of like a gift. One of the great gifts of consciousness is that it doesn't quiet until it's met. It doesn't stop making its sound and singing its song until it's named appropriately and seen adequately. And that's a great gift. This kind of composting of experience for the sake of our growth, and this turning over and over again the soil of our lives that we might actually seed the present in something fresh and not old and stale, is really quite a gift. And we don't have to go very far to find it. It'll appear the minute we close our eyes or turn our attention to our present moment experience. So many of our stories are still with us in exactly the form that they took at some earlier point in our lives. And of course, the great tradition is that until we name those things adequately and truthfully, most importantly, truthfully, they will remain in a way pulling us back and inhibiting our ability to really walk forward. The most remarkable piece of the story for me in the coming week is Jacob's wounding in this process, and the text's affirmation that he, notwithstanding his limp, is arriving whole in a new place after his wrestling match. The notion that you can be more whole with a limp than you were with a artificial, gait is really a great image. Kind of the notion that wholeness doesn't come in some prepackaged perfection, but that it is warts and all, imperfections and all, struggles and all. So as we begin our sit here and sit for 18 minutes, I invite us to watch and observe whatever's arising in the present moment, being acutely aware today of the content of your distractions. Even as you will gently pull yourself back to whatever anchor you've chosen today, take a moment to pause and see what it is that has been occupying your mind today. It might be something interesting as you try to understand your own story. About a third of the way into our meditation, gently bringing your awareness or your attention to the object of your awareness today, your stable anchor. And as you intend your awareness or your attention towards your stable anchor, noticing thoughts or feelings that arise, and gently making note of the content of those thoughts or feelings. And then very gently bringing your awareness, your focus back to your object. In our last third of our sit today, I invite you, if you feel comfortable, just to spend the last 5.5 minutes now with one hand on your heart and another somewhere around your belly, as if holding yourself. Continue to notice the breath or whatever your anchor is, but bring particular attention to observing the breath and the mind, even as you now have the input from your hands on your heart. In our last minute of practice, rededicating yourself to the object, being present, no judgment, spacious awareness of all that is arising. dedicating this sitting today to all of the sentient beings, to all those who need healing. Thank you for joining us today and dedicating time to your midday meds. It's a really way to remain sane in a crazy world. And hoping that that whatever it is that was part of your content today will also be part of your process going forward, a process of integration and speaking truth. Thank you, Ari. Thank you, Bachi. See you guys tomorrow, everybody.
לך אחריי